Hi, I got an update on the Neo Geo. So I've been working with a friend and we think we've worked out all of the little design issues with these LED panels. Um, we figured out the maximum thickness that we can have and incorporated the mini marquee holders into the panels. So the panels are now 5 millimeters, and on the 6 slot cabinet that we worked on, that was enough to go in place of the old EL panels. There were some bits of wood either side that we used as our gauge. Now these panels are not finished products still, although the design we think is finished. The actual light panels that are inside are still ones that I have made, so each one of them is slightly different with a different design which I'm testing, and I'm waiting for some samples to come over. But the actual size is finished and the panels that I'm hoping to get will just fit into these existing designs. So to fit in the 6 slot, we've got two different panels. We've got lower panels and upper panels where they all screw in through the middle. The problem at the bottom was that the lower panels sit pretty much flush to the bottom. You can't screw in at the top because there's a big hole at the top. So I put the screws along the middle. But that does mean that it's flexible with different cabinets. I've seen that there's lots of them of different styles. So you can locate the screws in the top position or the bottom position and adjust them. They should sit side by side with no gaps, and that should line up properly with the Neo Geos, especially the 4 slot and the 6 slot that I have tested with. At the moment I'm only working on the 4 slot, so I can't show all 6 working, but they do run a test when you switch them on. So like I say, these panels have been made so that you can slide the mini marquee in. The tolerances on it is quite small. I might need to do some work on that. These are ones that I had reproduced for me, and they do fit in. Some of them fit better than others. Some of them were pushed all the way down. Some of them won't go in. Probably tolerances of 3D printing as well as how they have been cut. But little things like that are no trouble. The problem was the actual thickness and getting them so that we could close the lid down on the top of the cabinet. So this is my Arduino circuit board with the MOSFETs that control the 12 volt. We also have a dimmer, and every time it turns on it tests each panel, and if you hit the reset button you can just test them again. The brightness only changes when it first powers up, so if you adjust the brightness, just hit the reset and then it'll do it. I did that so that there's no chance that it could flicker when the brightness goes. So this board can be configured to work with 2, 4 or 6 without any additional things. We just don't populate it as much. I am working on a non-Arduino version of this. I'm still working on that, but I've also got an Arduino version of a Mega Hat. So this is a hat that I've made for an Arduino Mega, and it does coins for coin slot 1 and 2. I'm refining this so that it will also do the lights, and I'm also working on a hardware version of the coin counters without the Arduino. Just having some issues getting the circuitry right. I have the diagrams, but they don't really explain how the inverters work. So I'm just trying to get to the bottom of the best way to set up the pull down resistors and the inverters. So let's power this up. Obviously the lighting will change as the camera changes. Like I say, each one of these panels is slightly different. This one is probably the best out of all of them. It's the most even amount of light. So that's the one that I hopefully can reproduce. The others are all okay, but you can see that they're not quite as bright at the bottom as they are at the top. And that's to do with how the plastic's cut and the reflective material at the back. All of these boards have LED modules that I also designed so that they would fit into these. They're very narrow and they were a nightmare to make and to get produced. So let's switch this on. So the Arduino powers up, it tests each one, and then it will wait for the Neo Geo to tell it. So we're just going to put this into test mode. and then we can see the lights changing on each panel. You can see out of all of them, that one is by far the best out of all of them. Although they're not bad, but that one is just the most even light top to bottom. The panels have a little corner to stop these from sitting all the way in, so it just helps to pull them out. So that just fits in the side and slots down. So there we go. This is going to be sent off to my friend, and we're going to work on installing it in his 6-slot cabinet in this configuration, and then we're going to get some pictures and some feedback on how everything fits in. But with the work that we've done between us, I am pretty sure that we have covered all the issues. So there we go. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I will have some good news once we get these fitted into the actual 6-slot cabinet.